Good morning, everyone, and welcome back. Yeah, so, you got to start the day with start the day and end the day with a good cup of coffee. In the last video, your builder must have been an idiot, or were they? I made the comment that I had a standing rule. I never want to know who worked on someone's motorcycle before when they bring it in for repair. I made the comment that there was a story behind that, and I wasn't going to bore anyone with it. So I said, if you're interested in hearing the story as to why, leave a comment. Oh man, the comments pouring in. Please tell the story. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of comments. Just please tell the story. So in this video, I'm going to tell the story as to why I have that standing rule. It's actually quite comical. But before we do that, I want to update you guys on our All Kids Bike program, where we stand on that. And I want to let you know about two upcoming videos that I'll be releasing probably in the next 2 to 3 days. So stay tuned. We've got a lot to talk about. Let's start with an update on the All Kids Bike program here for East Hickman Elementary School. You guys are absolutely unbelievable, incredible. The total cost of the program, let's talk the funds real quick, and then I want to add a couple things. The total cost of the program, landed, delivered, is $9,000. At this point, we've raised $7,750. We're $1,250 away. And of course, for you that may just be tuning in, the All Kids Bike program is a scholastic fitness program for children. The county that I'm located in is actually an impoverished county. And basically, we're selling raffle tickets for $25 each. And that raffle ticket goes toward a custom artistic metal panel that I'm painting, and that will be actually painted on how-to videos, continuing with the how-to paint video series. I'm only going to paint one of these panels. You guys will get to see how it's done, and then it'll be signed by myself, a world-renowned artist and painter, Andy Anderson, who played a very big part in coaching me in a lot of techniques and teaching me a lot of things. And he's also a very good friend. And also Tony Larimer from Sada and Dan Am Company. We're going to sign it. It's going to be suitable for wall hanging, just a beautiful art piece. So we're selling the raffle tickets for that. I want to tell you a quick story. I had a gentleman reach out from Nevada. He asked to remain nameless. This is quite incredible. He reached out from Nevada. Come to find out, he grew up in Middle Tennessee and knew exactly what I was talking about when I described living conditions for children around here. He happened to be one of those. But he was also successful in his life, and he made a very sizable donation, actually $3,000 worth. But he put a caveat on it. First, don't tell anybody who I am. And the second was, don't include me in the raffle. He wanted to make sure to maximize everyone else's chances, knowing that with that size of a donation, he would be buying a bunch of raffle tickets. So he asked to not be included in the raffle. That's quite a gentleman. So that came from there. Had another fellow that's been a friend of mine that's very, very involved in the motorcycle industry. And he made a relatively sizable donation as well. And then several people bought 10 tickets. Several people had a few people that bought 20 or 30 tickets. 20 tickets, 10 tickets, that sort of thing. So what it comes down to is we've, at this point, sold 207 raffle tickets, and we still have $1,250 to raise. So you can hit the website. There'll be a link in the description if you're interested in being a part of this and having an opportunity to win that one-of-a-kind custom painted panel. Next, upcoming videos. That's something we want to talk about here. First, I'm going to be installing a transmission. We're going to do a 7-speed Baker transmission, and I'm going to do this video a little bit different. I'm not really going to talk. during the installation. I'm just going to let you guys watch. I've done so many videos on transmission installations that if the technical data is out there, it's there. You can refer to older videos and see that stuff. I think a lot of times people just need to see it, see closer up how to do it, and the visual most often is self-explanatory. That's going to be one great upcoming video, and in it, a couple things. One, this tool right here is awesome. This thing is unbelievable. It's made by Evolution Industries, and they haven't really marketed this tool, which I found fascinating. It's solves my problems. I wish I'd have had this thing many years ago, but they never really promoted it. So I want to promote this tool for them because it's made a difference in easing installation on clutches and clutch hubs. So I'm gonna show you guys that tool, and it is actually very affordable. And I'm going to be putting that on the website if anybody wanted to get that, of course. I'll be showcasing Jim's tools during the install of that transmission. And what I'll do is on the bottom of the screen, I'll put the part number of the tools that I'm using. And of course, you'll be able to get those off the website. So that will be that video there. Of course, we're going to start into the painting process of that panel for the raffle. That'll be a great video. And then, let's see, I had 2 or 3 other videos I've already shot footage for, but let's get to the point and the purpose for the video here. Here we go, the story. This goes back, I would say, this was when I had my first retail shop, my first big building. So, you know, we're going back 18 years, give or take. My first big retail shop. So the way the shop was set up is I had a big window out front, and I had one lift that I'd keep right next to the window. And because I like to look outside. So I'm in that bay working on a bike. And I hear a bike come outside. Now I had the radio playing and everything, and I hear a bike pull up outside. And it's making noise. Bam, 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 bam. You know, beating itself to death. So I put down my tools. I go running outside. I look at the guy, shut this thing off, shut it off, shut it off. And he shuts it off and he goes, thank God. I said, thank God for what? Your bike sounds like crap. What the heck did you do? Now, keep in mind, you know, this was in the area I was in. I had motorcycle shops all around me. And fact is, you could basically drive about 45 minutes in any direction and hit a Harley dealership. And then there's shops everywhere. I mean, they're kind of right in the middle of all of them. So anyway, guy says, thank God. And I said, what? And he said, I just took the bike to, I went, stop. And that was really the first time I told somebody, don't tell me who worked on this thing before. I had a feeling of what was wrong with it. So please don't tell me who worked on this thing before. And he goes, okay, that's weird. And I said, so tell me what happened. So basically, long story short, he had just had a set of cams installed. And when he left the parking lot from the place he had it worked on, banging like crazy, he turns around, goes back inside. They tell him, that's normal. That's what a performance cam is supposed to sound like. There's nothing wrong with your motorcycle. He gets back on his bike and he rides a few miles down the road and bang, 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 like crazy. Turns around and he goes back. And they told him, that's normal. It's a performance cam. So then he goes to another shop not too far away. Again, shops are everywhere. And they asked him, what'd you have done? Where'd you have it done? He told them where he had it done. And they said, oh, no, there's nothing wrong with this. It's normal. It's a performance cam. So looking at it, it had the pipes that were on it, made it easy to take the cam cover off. That was the logical first place to go. It didn't make the noise before he had the cams installed. Now it makes the noise. So I roll the bike on the lift, and it's going to take me just a few minutes to pull the cam cover off, and all the while reminding the guy, do not tell me who worked on this thing before, because I had a pretty good idea what I was going to find when I got in there. And something that would have been what I would say, just a simple mistake, an accident. So he asked if he could watch me take it apart. Sure, I would love that. So Bike's on the lift, and I'm pulling the cam cover off, and he's standing right here, watching every step of the process. I pull the cam cover off, and I try to be discreet, and I put the cam cover down and took a quick look. Of course, cam chain flopping around like crazy. You guys probably know where I'm going with this. At the cam chain tensioner, pretty simple thing. Whoever had taken it apart and put it back together had accidentally flipped the plunger. So those little plungers can come out, by the way. So they had accidentally flipped it, and there was no tension on the cam chain, and the chain flopping around in there is what was making all the noise. Excuse me. So flip it around, tighten everything back up, and as I went to pick up the cam cover, I had a sip of coffee for this one. As I went to pick up the cam cover, I was trying to hide it. The fella goes, what are you hiding? I said, oh, nothing. I tried to downplay it. Nothing. He goes, no, man, I saw you when you took it off, and I saw the look on your face, and you're hiding something from me. I want to see the cam cover. Okay, man. So I handed him the cam cover. And when he looked inside the cam cover, his face turned as red as that hunting station. I swear I saw Satan incarnate in my shop at that very moment. Horns coming out of his head, steam out of his ears. What he saw on the inside of that cam cover, someone, and I'll say this was a relatively brand new bike, and a bike that no one had ever touched, except for putting the cams in it. On the inside of that cam cover, someone had written in permanent marker on the inside of the cam cover, "This guy sucks." Yeah, you fill in the blank. Furious. He took a couple of pictures, and I looked at him. I said, don't you dare tell me who ever worked on this bike. I don't want to know. You stood here and watched me take it apart. I'm thinking, oh, geez, I know what this guy's going to do. He's going to lose his wad. So I put that cam cover back on there, and I tightened the bolts down, and off he goes. And, of course, we all know where he was headed. About 2 hours later, I get a phone call from, I'm just going to say a person. This person, when I answer the phone, they ask for me, cussed me like, oh, I don't even know what. I mean, just ripped me a new one for like 5 minutes straight, just screaming and yelling, and I couldn't make sense of anything they were saying. So it finally got to a point, this person had to catch their breath. And I said, did Mr. Customer tell you he watched me disassemble the entire thing? Yes. Okay. Did he tell you that he never saw me pick up a permanent marker and write anything on the inside of the cam cover? And he said, yes. I said, okay. You do realize that you made a mistake at your place, whoever worked on it, a small mistake that could have easily been rectified the first time you hit the button and heard the noise. Take it back apart and fix it. But didn't do that. Actually forced the guy to go to a different place, and everybody telling him that this noise is normal, and you failed to do that. He goes, yes. And I said, so then why are you calling me? Why am I even in this equation? And he took a deep breath. Didn't say a word. And I said, you know what? Here's the magic of this whole entire situation. I have a choice. I have an ethical choice, if you will. You've called me and cussed me and called me everything but a child of God when I did nothing wrong. But the beauty of this whole story is I had no idea who did it. Now I get to make the choice of spending the rest of my days telling the story of how stupid a tech was by making a simple mistake and flipping a plunger around. Or I get to tell the story of you acting like a fool, talking to me the way that you just did for no apparent reason. I didn't know who did this until you called me and told on yourself. Quite a thing. So to this day, I have that rule, and that one showed me that rule is very valuable. Not only because I wouldn't have known anyway, And the fact that he did tell me, I get to carry around this story. But to this day, I have never told anyone who he was or where that shop was or who that shop was. Who that shop was? If that makes any sense. All right. So anyway, that's the story, and I'm going to stick to it. Anyway, guys, so if you don't mind, subscribe and such, and we've got this tool coming up we're going to introduce. I want to say thanks to a lot of folks, man. All you guys that, all the subscribers, and all you guys that are members, thank you so much for supporting this channel. And then, of course, everyone that donated, I gave serious consideration to rolling everybody's names of who donated. But I had a lot of people ask for privacy in that. So it may be a violation of privacy, I guess, to some of you. So I decided not to do that. 207 raffle tickets sold. We've got 1,250 left to raise within the next 2 to 3 weeks. And thank you to everyone that's been calling and emailing to order your parts. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for supporting this business and supporting what we do here. And lastly, I'm going to shut up and get off here because it's been almost 20 minutes. If I used to do a lot of writing, and I would post those on social media, Facebook or whatever, stories, things through my life, people that I've had the benefit of knowing that have taught me things. And many people have told me to tell these stories, tell more stories of just situations. Wonderful people I've been able to meet, places I've traveled and such. If you're interested in having a story time once a week, maybe, let me know. And maybe we'll do that. I did one series called Tales from a Parts Store Counterman that seemed to get a lot of chuckles. And one of those stories that I told was the story of the Pontiac Ghoulie. The Pontiac Ghoulie. So, if you want to hear the story of the Pontiac Ghoulie, when I was a very young man working a parts counter at a auto parts store, I'll tell you the story of the Pontiac Ghoulie. Just let me know. Check links in the comments, guys, and links in the description and all that stuff. Again, thank you so much. Have a wonderful week. Have an amazing 4th of July. Oh, man. Independence is great, but we need to, unite again as a country. That would be a good thing. Happy 4th. Be safe. Take care of yourselves and each other. Have a good one.